Welcome to Truth Report. I'm Alex Truth.
And I'm Maya Clarity. Tonight, we cut through the noise, the talking points, and the manufactured outrage to bring you the hidden mechanisms of power behind the headlines. We're not here for surface-level reporting, we're here to uncover who truly benefits and who pays the price.
Our first deep dive takes us to a battle over American identity, seemingly settled over a century ago. The South China Morning Post reports on the renewed fight against birthright citizenship, enshrined in the 14th Amendment in 1868. This isn't just a legal debate, Maya, it's a direct assault on a foundational principle that was originally designed to guarantee citizenship for formerly enslaved people.
Precisely, Alex. What the mainstream media often downplays is the historical context beyond just ex-slaves. This amendment's application was crucial for other marginalized groups, notably Chinese immigrants after the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. The Wong Kim Ark case solidified that anyone born in the U.S. meant anyone. Undermining this now weaponizes history, not corrects it.
And weaponization is the key. Who benefits from this renewed push? Nativist political factions, certainly, who use xenophobia to rally their base. But also, potentially, industries reliant on an undocumented, vulnerable workforce, if pathways to legal status become even more constrained. They gain leverage over a population living in fear, unable to assert full rights.
The losers are clear: millions of American-born children, immigrant families, and the very concept of equal protection under the law. This isn't about legal interpretation, it's about political opportunism. It's an attempt to redefine who belongs in America, fueled by anti-immigrant sentiment and a deliberate misunderstanding of constitutional history, as SCMP subtly hints.
This isn't an isolated incident. This fight connects to a broader, global pattern of rising nationalism and the systematic erosion of democratic norms. When a settled issue can be unsettled by political will, it signals a dangerous precedent for any minority group whose rights were once enshrined. It's a legal battle with profound human consequences.
Absolutely. It sends a chilling message to families across the country, creating immense uncertainty and fear. The real agenda here is to restrict immigration through any means possible, even if it means dismantling established legal precedents and further dividing a nation. We must ask, what's the next fundamental right to be declared unsettled?
From eroding citizenship rights, we pivot to another assault on fundamental freedoms, this time in Hong Kong. The South China Morning Post reports an unemployed man, Lam Kin-sik, received a suspended jail term for merely reposting a social media call to boycott a legislative council election. A repost, Maya. Think about the implications of that for free speech.
This story, Alex, isn't just about Lam Kin-sik, it's about the complete dismantling of Hong Kong's autonomy and the one country, two systems framework. The fact that a repost of a public message can lead to a jail sentence, even suspended, reveals the extreme lengths the authorities will go to stifle any form of dissent, however passive or minor.
And who benefits here? Clearly, the Chinese Communist Party and its installed government in Hong Kong. They consolidate power, creating a rubber-stamp legislature devoid of genuine opposition. The message is simple: any challenge, any criticism, even a digital one, will be met with the full force of a weaponized legal system.
The losers are the citizens of Hong Kong, stripped of their most basic democratic participation and freedom of expression. The mainstream coverage, while reporting the facts, often misses the chilling effect this has on all forms of public discourse. People will self-censor, disappear from online forums, and become afraid to even share information.
The use of the term fugitive to describe the original poster is also telling, a deliberate attempt to delegitimize the message and criminalize association. This isn't about fair elections, it's about controlling the narrative and punishing any perceived opposition, no matter how small. It's a blueprint for authoritarian control in a digital age.
This directly connects to our first story. Whether it's undermining citizenship or criminalizing a repost, we are witnessing a global pattern where legal systems are weaponized to suppress dissent and redefine national identity to exclude. The individual loses their voice, and the state gains absolute control over political participation.
From the suppression of speech, we move to the high-stakes world of global energy and finance. Al Jazeera reports that Iran plans to offer Bitcoin-based insurance for ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz. On the surface, it might sound like a simple business proposition, but this is a geopolitical chess move, Maya, challenging established global norms.
Absolutely, Alex. Who benefits from this? Iran, primarily. It's a clever way to circumvent crippling international sanctions by bypassing traditional financial systems dependent on the dollar. It asserts Iran's control and influence over a critical global choke point, forcing international players to acknowledge their terms for safe passage.
And who loses? Global maritime security, for one. This move introduces immense uncertainty and risk into a vital trade route that carries a significant portion of the world's oil. Established international financial institutions are also challenged, as cryptocurrency offers a pathway around their oversight, creating a gray area ripe for exploitation.
The mainstream media might focus on the novelty of Bitcoin insurance, but they often miss the deeper geopolitical implications. This isn't just about insurance, it's a strategic play by Iran to project regional power, challenge Western financial dominance, and potentially create new avenues for rogue actors or sanctioned entities to operate.
This highlights a growing pattern, the weaponization of finance and technology in geopolitical conflicts. By leveraging Bitcoin, Iran is attempting to carve out its own economic sphere, independent of traditional banking systems. It's a direct challenge to the global maritime order and the established rules of engagement in international waters.
The why now is crucial. This move comes amidst ongoing tensions in the Middle East and a desire by Iran to diversify its economic strategies under immense pressure. It creates a volatile situation where global trade and energy security are held hostage to an evolving financial and political standoff. We need to watch this space closely.
From geopolitical maneuvering, let's turn to a persistent crisis in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Al Jazeera reports the DRC health minister visited a hotspot for an Ebola outbreak. While a minister's visit sounds proactive, it begs the question, why are these outbreaks so frequent, and what's the underlying failure beyond the headlines?
This is a critical point, Alex. Who benefits from this cycle of perpetual crisis? International pharmaceutical companies profit from the continuous demand for vaccines and treatments. Certain international aid organizations secure funding. And regrettably, sometimes, corrupt officials in the DRC may divert resources or benefit from the instability.
The real losers are the Congolese people, trapped in a cycle of disease, instability, and distrust. The mainstream narrative often presents these as isolated medical emergencies, but they are symptoms of systemic failures, a lack of robust, sustained public health infrastructure, deep political instability, and chronic underdevelopment exacerbated by resource exploitation.
This isn't just a health crisis, it's a crisis of governance and external influence. The DRC is incredibly rich in minerals vital for global technology, yet its people suffer. The continuous cycle of emergency response without addressing root causes, like displacement due to mining, environmental destruction, and poverty, only perpetuates the problem, as our sources often fail to articulate.
Exactly. We see a pattern of neocolonialism where external powers, under the guise of humanitarianism or security, maintain a presence in resource-rich regions without truly empowering local institutions. It's crisis capitalism, profit from the disease, but don't cure the underlying conditions that allow it to flourish.
The distrust in foreign aid or vaccines, often dismissed as misinformation, frequently stems from decades of exploitation and a lack of genuine, sustainable investment in local communities. Until those deep-seated issues of resource control and political stability are addressed, ministers will continue visiting outbreak hotspots indefinitely.
Our final story brings us back to external intervention. The SCMP reports the US and Nigeria carried out more strikes on IS targets, killing at least 20 militants. On the surface, it's a clear win against terrorism. But what's the true cost, and why do these groups continue to thrive despite persistent military action?
This is a classic example of a military solution attempting to solve a multifaceted socio-economic and political problem, Alex. Who benefits? The U.S. military-industrial complex, which secures contracts and maintains its footprint in Africa. The Nigerian government gains external validation and resources, but at what long-term cost to its sovereignty?
The losers are the civilians caught in the crossfire, facing displacement, collateral damage, and further radicalization. These strikes, while eliminating some militants, often fail to address the root causes fueling insurgency, poverty, climate change, governance failures, and historical grievances that IS West Africa province expertly exploits.
The mainstream media rarely delves into the long-term effectiveness of these forever wars. We see body counts, but not the enduring instability, the drain on U.S. taxpayer dollars, or the ethical questions surrounding drone warfare and foreign intervention. Is this truly making Nigeria safer, or merely perpetuating a cycle of violence?
This fits a broader pattern of U.S. military engagement in Africa, often presented as counterterrorism, but frequently stabilizing regimes that might not have popular support, while failing to build lasting peace. It's a band-aid on a gaping wound, diverting attention from the systemic issues that make regions like the Sahel fertile ground for extremism.
Until the international community and local governments prioritize sustainable development, good governance, and address the human rights abuses that fuel resentment, these military operations will continue indefinitely. It's a tragic cycle where communities are destroyed, and the core issues remain unaddressed, perpetuating suffering.
From the erosion of rights and the weaponization of law, to geopolitical power plays and the cycle of perpetual crisis, a clear pattern emerges. Established power structures are being challenged, but often at the expense of ordinary people and fundamental freedoms.
The truth is, these aren't isolated incidents. They are interconnected threads in a tapestry of global power struggles, economic exploitation, and the deliberate suppression of dissent. It demands a more critical, investigative approach from us all.
So, what's the call to action? Demand more from your news sources. Look beyond the headlines. Understand the historical context and the power dynamics at play. Question who benefits and who loses. Your awareness is the first step toward accountability.
Join us next time on Truth Report, as we continue to uncover the stories behind the stories. Good night.